r/AskReddit, people older than 30, what are some things you regret not doing in your 20s? Having fun. 1. Prioritizing health. Eat clean, drink water. 2. Start saving money. Doesn't have to be a lot, just a little something regularly. 3. Travel. Go see places, learn, experience. Life is too short. Leaving relationships that were not good. Take care of your body. Don't gain weight. It's much harder to lose it as you get older. Being overweight negatively affects so many aspects of your health. My job is physically demanding, plumber, and the guys that are 50 pounds overweight can hardly get up off the floor even though they're 10 years younger. They're always talking about knee pain and back issues. Wish I had kids earlier. 38 with a 2 and 4 year and I'm gonna be an old man by the time they have babies, if they choose to. But kids are never a decision to be made without careful consideration. So don't rush it. Make sure you have a stable job, good income, and both parties and 100% all in. There can't be any doubt in either of your minds about this before going forward. Definitely don't try to force toxic relationships to work. Just ask yourself if you're unhappy more than 50% of the time with that person. If the answer is yes, then just end it. It won't get any better. I went through 2 long-term relationships before meeting my wife and I couldn't see the forest through the trees. My friends/family could. But I wouldn't listen. Once I met my wife though I realized what a relationship should be. Try to be handy. You'd be surprised how much learning a skill in one area translates to the next. Do your own brakes, fix your running toilet, paint your own walls. All this stuff is on YouTube and not only will save you tons of money but these are skills you use your entire life. Don't feel the need to keep up with your peers. Just because Jessica went on a 2-week-long vacation to Europe doesn't mean you have to or can. First rule of budgeting your money is living within your means, not those around you. For the love of God, stay out of legal trouble. Once you're in the system it can be very hard to get out. Traffic tickets mean higher insurance premiums, felonies go on your permanent record and can make getting a job difficult. Being on parole is almost designed to make you fail again. My brother-in-law just told them to take him to jail because he knew there is no way he would make it out of parole. It worked out because he was able to get sober. As hard as it can be sometimes, try to stay close and on good terms with your family. They can be a safety net if things ever get really bad. It's always good to have someone that will always be there for you. Don't let employers take advantage of you. It never hurts to go do an interview somewhere else just to see what the offerings are. Someone once told me don't burn yourself out to keep others warm. That always stuck with me. Half of being successful is just showing up. The other half is just good habits. Never pass up an opportunity to learn. Show up on time. Employers will notice this and when an opportunity arises for a promotion or advancement, you'll be glad you did. Have fun and enjoy yourself. But always be aware these are your formative years. Your 20s only last a decade, but you're going to be around a lot longer than that. Set yourself up for the future. Set goals and stick to them. I'm sure there's tons more but this is all I could think of. Sorry it got long-winded but I spent a lot of time reflecting on my early years and these are some things I thought I should share. I regret not planning things better and being more financially abstinent. The impulsive spending added up and now it feels like everyone else was writing notes and studying during class meanwhile I just realized the test is tomorrow. Saving money. Not focusing enough on a career. I wish I had had more casual sex and meaningless encounters. Exercising. Although I had an older sibling who is a gym rat and was obsessed with it. Made it his whole life. So naturally that turned me off to it for the majority of my life. Now I'm about 40 and I'm pissed off because everything he said about working out was true. Fucking prick. I wish I'd started playing an instrument or learning another language before my brain began sealing itself off. I wish I didn't worry so much of what others thought of me. Especially about my looks. I would say exercising more, and that goes back to teen years, really. I'm more or less healthy as it is, but that stuff goes downhill really quickly. People talking about taking their health seriously are spot on. In college, I'd eat whatever I wanted, drink, never went to the gym, and I just felt like, well, I'm still skinny, so that means I'm healthy. Yeah, that's not how that works. You don't need to be a nutcase about it, but get some exercise every now and then, and maybe watch the sodium or whatever. Less sex and more romance. I wish I'd have been focused in doing traditional things like getting married and done more friend-specific stuff. I was single for exactly one summer since I was 15, and it was the best summer of my life. Traveling. Back then we didn't have the climate angst that we have now. And there just weren't as many beautiful places ruined by hordes of tourists. Been less focused on what others thought of me. Investing in real estate. Taking a 3 to 4 mile walk every day. Caring enough. No regrets. I lived life to its fullest in my 20s. Partied my way across the world. Once I turned 30, I stopped smoking, bought a house, and focused on my career and investment. Have as much fun as you can in your 20s. Youth doesn't come back, and you've got plenty of time later in life to get your shit together. Being more relaxed and not stressing over silly things. Being okay with my circumstances and not letting them define me as a person. Do you know how in many video games you can grind your skills to achieve higher levels and abilities? All of those hours, days, of playing games really could have been used more effectively. I would have liked to spend more time learning how to learn mathematics, speak additional languages, and had more focused self-reflection time to know myself better at that time. But the good news is that there's always time until there isn't. Wearing a condom that one time. No regrets. I tried to enter the rental market in 2005 but was put off by all the weirdo landlords and their weird ass rules about asinine things. So I looked at what was affordable for me and bought a mobile home, which I sold a couple years later, earning me $20,000. I just kept buying and selling, never lost on a home purchase, and now I own an apartment worth over $500K and it is completely paid off. Mortgage free. Develop better habits. Skydiving. Traveling more. Stop regretting and do it now. Who cares what age you are? Wish I had known what I wanted to do for a living earlier. I wish I wouldn't have cared about what other people thought of me. Especially my looks. Being single. Got married way too young. Guys. I had zero social life because I studied through most of it, spent the rest in some form of trauma. Foster mom and grandmother died within 2 years of each other and I felt so alone. Bettering myself became obsessive, ditched all friends and most of my family. Now I'm in my 30s with very few social connections. I wish I started investing sooner and hung out with my parents more. 30s is a lot more fun than 20s for me, and I don't regret grinding or missing out on things to get myself set up. Only paying the amount due per month on student loans, and not saving as much dollar. Wish I had known that paying what's due and paying on time were not enough. Always pay extra or they will last forever. Following my dreams. From age 20 to 26 I was unemployed and endlessly job searching. I had no hope for anything. In that time I could have carved out a career as a YouTube content creator or some shiz. At 26 I decided to just apply for university, By age 28 I got my bachelor's degree in animation and illustration with honors. In my mid-30s and my health seems fine even with all the poor food consumption. So unlike what seems to be the vast majority of this thread, I don't really mind what 20's me did with his health. What I do mind is his lack of financial investments and not using a credit card all the time. I exclusively used debit, and then when I needed a credit score I had to work on it real late. I could have just not had an aversion to credit in my 20's. I grew up with parents in permanent credit card debt, put me off from even owning a credit card, and instead used credit for all the miscellaneous shit I bought to build up a fantastic credit score. I never went in on big investments like houses or vehicles or anything, so there was really no excuse to not just use credit for all my relatively small purchases. Buying a house. The same $60,000 house I looked at 6 years ago and said one day now costs over $200,000. Being single, finishing college, saving money instead of blowing it. Building and sustaining relationships with other humans. Not saving for retirement sooner. Sex, bachelor's degree. I wish I would have dated more and took more chances. Taking care of my body. Trying harder in my career. I'm doing fine now and ultimately like where I am at, but it took me longer than most to develop the skills and approach I needed to be somewhat successful. Because I was kind of late to the game, I started from behind and could be at a more advanced stage as of now. But, more importantly, I could have been saving more money and bought a house before the whole market went haywire in the last year or so. I regret so much. I know it was what do you regret not doing, but I wrote it more when I regret in general. Not being more social. Growing up too fast. Marrying too young. Being so mature and not trying stuff that young people should be trying. Playing it too safe. Everything. Honestly, I don't even know where to start. I was a fat, blunt, gamer guy. Madly frustrated about my life. Incel ASK. I had friends that didn't really care about me. I still let my parents control my life. And I was still convinced I was the victim of the big bad world. I was 26 when I started taking control. 32 now and still dealing with my failure. Still trying to forgive myself. So I guess what I regret not doing is listening to what I want. I regret trying to live up to my parents' expectations. I regret not taking control over my life. I regret not leaving toxic relationships. Live. Taking better care of my health. At least I started in my 30s. Buying more Bitcoin. Not much. Not wearing sunscreen comes to mind though. Working harder. Not escaping the plantation when I had a chance, 200 years old. Oh, there are always a few things people wish they'd done in their 20s, but it's never too late to start. Here are a few common regrets and some thoughts for those who are still in their 20s. Traveling more. Many wish they had traveled more when they had fewer responsibilities. If you're still in your 20s, start saving and planning trips now. It's never too late to explore the world. Taking more risks. In your 20s, you have more freedom to take risks, whether in your career or personal life. Don't be afraid to step out of your comfort zone. Saving and investing. Financial responsibility can't be stressed enough. The earlier you start saving and investing, the more you'll benefit from compound interest. Learning a new skill, whether it's learning a new language, playing a musical instrument, or picking up a hobby, acquiring new skills is something many wish they'd done in their 20s. Building a stronger network. Networking is crucial in both your personal and professional life. Start building meaningful connections early on. Prioritizing health. Establishing healthy habits in your 20s can set the foundation for a healthier life. Don't wait until later to focus on your well-being. Remember, It's never too late to pursue these things. Regret can be a powerful motivator, so if you're still in your 20s, take these as friendly reminders to make the most of this exciting decade. Grinning face with smiling eyes. Thanks for watching. Leave a like if you have enjoyed this video and subscribe to never miss an upload.